Well, it's kind of funny and kind of sad at the same time. Just today, earlier, I made a video about Islamic terrorism in Canada, and well, I'm gonna make another video about Islamic terrorism in Europe. News came out that Taylor Swift's concert was cancelled in Vienna because basically two Islamic terrorists were planning an attack. They were gonna drive truck with explosives into the crowd and, by their own words, kill as many people as possible. When will people wake up? I have no idea. Let's read about it a little bit. So, Taylor Swift, ISIS bombing suspect, pictured holding dual knives, as the chilling details of terrorist plot revealed. Of course, they don't want to show his face because, the guy looks like your average Islamic follower of peaceful religion of peace. Honestly, every time I hear it, I just want to laugh. Teen suspects, really? Well, one was 17, yes, but one was 19. 19 years old, an adult, okay? In many countries, when you're 18, you go into the army, you serve, and you may actually end up dying for your country. So don't give me this crap about being 19, being a teenager. Anyway, the teen suspects arrested for plotting an ISIS-style bloodbath terror attack at one of Taylor Swift's Austrian concerts this week had planned to drive a bomb-filled car into the crowd to kill as many people as possible and had reportedly just been hired by the venue to work security. What does that tell you? Seriously, you want security? Don't hire people who are actually more likely to commit those crimes. Like, honestly, it's like hiring a fat kid to work in a candy store. No offense, but same idea. Terrifying details of the foiled suicide bombing attack emerged after authorities revealed that two men, aged 19 and 17, had been taken into custody in Vienna on Wednesday, resulting in a swift 3 sold-out era shows in the city being cancelled. So, as you can see, those people don't only target Israel or Jewish people. So, anyone who thinks that, they live in a dream world. Like, wake up and smell the roses, honestly. Anyone who's non-Muslim, that's not even correct. Anyone who's not exactly like them is the target. So anyone who's not Muslim, so really, in reality, it's Jews number one target. After Jews, it's everybody else. And after that, it will be other Muslims who don't pray maybe 5 times a day, or don't cover up, or don't do anything, something that they don't like. Because don't forget, ISIS wanted to cover some of the parts of the Middle East. They were actually targeting not only minorities and stuff, they were actually targeting other Muslims too. Really, it was Shia versus Sunni. Two different Muslim religious groups, but they hate each other and nobody talks about it. The only thing that they hate more than each other is others, especially Jewish people. Because for them, that's honestly, it's a non-Islamic state in the middle of the Middle East. They just cannot handle it. But guess what? After Israel, they're gonna come for everyone else. So people need to wake the heck up before it's too late. The two suspects who investigators say had become radicalized online by ISIS. Oh, big surprise. Had allegedly wanted to carry out the attack outside the Amsterdam Stadium, killing fans with the self-made explosives and machetes, security officials said Thursday. The suspects actually had very specific and detailed plans to leave a bloodbath in their wake, Austrian Chancellor Karl Nehammer said. If any of you think that, truck, big deal, right? What can they do with the truck? Do you remember in France, the guy without any explosive, just with the rented truck, killed 86 people? All right. France truck. In 4 minutes and 17 seconds, Lukhouj Bukhlel, basically a Muslim guy, rammed his 19-ton truck at full speed into the crowd of families, tourists, and others. And a picture queue promoted at, well, whatever it is, I cannot pronounce it, killing 86 and leaving 450 others injured. That's all it took. Another Muslim attack. Do you think they're only going after Israel because Israel mistreating Palestinians? No, they don't. They do it everywhere. The alleged ringleader, 19-year-old Austrian with North Macedonian roots, which means what? Most likely he was even born in Austria, just a son of immigrants, had chemical substances and technical devices stashed inside his home when it was raided by authorities, according to the officials. He had allegedly also made progress in building the bomb he planned to strap to the car, they added. Meanwhile, a second suspect, a 17-year-old Austrian citizen with the Turkish and Croatian roots, again Muslim, was nabbed by special police forces near the stadium where the concerts were supposed to take place this week. Everyone who hates on Israel, how bad they are, and this and that. Tell me something. When last time you heard about Jewish people doing those type of things? Like, seriously. Especially in the name of religion, huh? When did you hear last time a Jewish person planning to blow up a concert or something like that, or a subway, in the name of their religion? Every time you hear a terrorist blew up a restaurant, like, be honest, every time you hear that, what comes to mind first? A Muslim terrorist or Jewish terrorist? Or Hindu terrorist? Or Christian terrorist? If you be honest with yourself, I'm pretty sure you know the answer. Every time, you pretty much know it's a member of a cult, Islamic cult. And yet, everyone hates on Jewish people. Everyone hates on Israel. Why? I don't know. Because TikTok tells you to? The second suspect had only just been employed a few days ago by a company providing services at the venue during the concert, officials said. Yeah, honestly, don't hire people who are more likely to commit the actual crime you're trying to prevent. Like, it's not really that complicated. Sources told German news outlet Courier that he's been hired to work there as security. Awesome. Just awesome, honestly. The pair had been displaying noticeable changes in their behavior in the lead up to their arrest, according to Frankfurt's public service director, Austria's Interior Ministry. The order the older teen had quit his job on July 25th and told people he had something big planned, while 17-year-old recently broke up with his girlfriend. So much for this narrative that, for example, when Hamas attacked the Israelis and killed 1,300 people, that they're doing it because they have no other options, that they're starving and they poor and this and that. Look what's happening in Europe, in the Western countries. Were those two guys starving? No, they were not starving. Was somebody abusing them or no? Literally, they had. I can guarantee you they were getting subsidies and everything from the government, especially in countries like Austria, that has very very good social programs and stuff. And yet that doesn't matter. Those things doesn't matter. What people refuse to understand, and because people literally refuse to understand, because they would never do it if it comes down to it. So they refuse to understand how someone else would do it for no reason whatsoever, simply for the in the name of their religion. But that is their reason. So it's not for no reason whatsoever. You would maybe do it if you were basically, if your life was in danger and stuff, and who knows what else. If you were hungry and. But those people, they don't need that reason. They have a different reason. They do it in the name of their religion. And there is nothing you can do about it. Just because you're gonna put your head in the sand and pretend it's not happening, it's not changing anything. It's still going to happen all over the world. And the more of them you let into your countries, the more often it's gonna happen. That's the end of it. Are all Muslims support terrorism? Of course not. Not even close. And I'll be the first one to admit it. But it doesn't change anything. You know why? Because there's 1.8 billion Muslims in the world. Close to 25% of the world population, okay? So even if, I don't know, 1% of them supports it, that is a lot of people who are willing to kill others. Just think about it. That's why it's not changing anything. Yes, not all Muslims support terrorism. But the problem is, there's too many of them do, compared to other religions. If you actually Google and do some search, on average, I believe in 2015, there were something like 503 suicide bombers. 501, well, you can guess who did it. Muslims. So they literally outnumber everybody else by a huge, huge margin. And this is the problem that has to be addressed. And this is why right now riots in England and Ireland, because people are getting tired of it. The pair had also made contact with others who appeared apparently aware of the terror plot plan. A 15-year-old boy had been taken in for questioning Wednesday after the sinister plans were uncovered, though it was unclear if he had been arrested. Meanwhile, both older suspects had been under surveillance by Austrian authorities and were known risks before their arrest, officials said. The problem is, if you let in millions of them and they become, let's say, I don't know, 10% of your population, you cannot monitor 10% of your population. Seriously. You cannot even monitor 1% of your population, realistically. Not even 0.1%. And this is a problem. Like, there is a reason why all those Muslim countries have problems. None of them have democracy. None, like, because it contradicts to their culture. It doesn't matter what we believe. You can try to help them and stuff. Nothing's gonna come out of it. Look what happened with Afghanistan. US deployed in there. For 20 years, the US been trying to build up their government, help them. And what happened? The day US left, the government fell and Taliban is back in power. Because people don't want it. Regular people don't want it, don't need it. Because it contradicts their beliefs. Investigators said that they found extensive material related to ISIS and Al Qaeda during the raid at the second suspect's home. The main suspect, who authorities say fully confessed to the attack plans after his arrest, had recently sworn allegiance to Islamic State leader, online security officials said. Franz Zuff, Director General for Public Security in Austria, addresses a press conference on August 8th. The older suspect was clearly radicalized in the direction of Islamic State and thinks it is right to kill infidels. You see? Exactly. This is what I'm saying. Who's an infidel? Infidels? Anyone who goes against them. And by goes against them, I mean like who doesn't follow what they want you to follow. If you're gonna eat pork, if you're not gonna pray in the mosque for 5 times a day, if you're not gonna do everything they want you to do, you're an infidel. Because they consider other Muslims infidels if they don't do exactly the same thing that they want them to do. So yes, the majority of the world is infidels, and that's what they want. That's why they believe that it's okay to kill us. That's what they believe. Hijawi Pincher added that the suspect wanted to carry out the attack in the area outside the stadium, killing as many people as possible using knives or even using the explosive devices he had made. The names of those allegedly involved haven't been released due to Austria's privacy law, and the 17-year-old suspect had reportedly refused to talk since his arrest. Yeah, the reason they don't want to release the names is because the names are going to be Muslims. Some kind of Muhammad or Ahmed. But everyone knows, honestly, everyone knows who's doing that. That's why, honestly, when white girls like Swift think that poor Palestinians and Israel is oppressor and this and that, and that's the only issue, that's the only problem why Hamas is doing it. Yeah, think again. Because after Israel, they're gonna come for you. I understand it very well that those who wanted to experience the concert live are very sad. No, they should be grateful. Because they could have been killed. And most likely, you know what? Who would have been at those concerts? Young people who right now demonstrating for Hamas. And the only sad part is they wouldn't know who did it to them. Because, I mean, the explosion happens, they're gone, and that's it. But that's what happens. Those people literally will support their own demise. It's completely insane. I remember this story. Two young girls. On 17th December 2018, the bodies of Louisa Vesterager Jasperen, a 24-year-old Danish woman, and Northern Ireland, a 28-year-old Norwegian woman, were found decapitated in the foothills of Mount Toubkal near the village of Amili in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. Yeah. What happened? For those of you who don't know, basically one of those girls, I can't remember which one, I don't feel like doing it right now, searching, but one of them was actually a very big supporter of Muslim immigration. Talking about the irony here. They were hiking in the mountains in Morocco, and basically, I think 8 guys or 6 guys, they basically raped them and beheaded them. And I always wonder what that girl was thinking in the last 20 seconds of her life as the knife was cutting the head of her, as the knife was cutting her head from her body. Maybe she realized how stupid and how naive she was, but it was too late. And that's the problem. That quite often people, that's what it takes for people to realize that they're wrong. Unfortunately, often it's just simply too late. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I think I made my point that, yeah, those people not only coming after Israel and Jewish people, they're coming after everyone in the Western world, and even people in their own countries. I mean, heck, talk about what's happening in Yemen, for example. Here, simple Google search. UN estimated that by the end of 2021, the conflict in Yemen had claimed more than 377,000 lives, and 70% of deaths were children under 5. That's basically Muslims killing Muslims. They do it to each other. The problem is, it seems like when Israel is not involved, nobody cares. There is, even if you believe Hamas numbers, here you have 10 to 15 times more people dead in Yemen. Do you see any demonstrations anywhere? No, because nobody cares. Because TikTok didn't tell them what to do and they don't do it. Because they don't care. Because nobody cares about it. Anyway, thanks for watching my video.